can storytelling in even this old versus new game reach a point where people are telling the same story? Is that going to happen eventually? Where it's just, there isn't anything new to say. Everybody's kind of saying the same thing, right? So I'm just, maybe, I kind of see some of that, right? Drift saw it, which is why Drift started a new category again, right? Where everybody was kind of telling the same story, but how many more times can you flip that story to something new and not have people catching up like they are with features?
I think it's a super fair point and question, Jay, but it's a little bit back to what Liz was saying, though. Like the game does evolve, right? Like it changes, and you do have to change with it, even if you're serving the same customer.
Yeah.
Drift's shift from conversational marketing from a few years ago to revenue acceleration is not a forced, awkward, hey, we just came up with some random shit type of move. It is truly a reflection of like where the buyers are. Like the two worlds that you're talking about, Liz, between like category creation and fundamentally understanding your buyer and solving their problems, they should not be mutually exclusive. They should be the same thing, right? Like the category should be the result of a story about a new way that customers can actually fulfill like whatever the hell they want to do, right? Like that's what it should be. So if you're going about that the right way, saying, all right, number one, I'm going to make sure I understand my audience because I exist to serve my audience rather than to sell some shit. So that's number one. Number two, I'm going to understand that for them to be successful now requires a different approach than last year or whenever, right? So I'm going to establish this new game, old game thing. Cool. All right. Now, if I really get that right and I have a certain lens and a certain worldview, then that could be the beginnings of a category. And if I do that as a marketer, I'm on a really freaking great path, right? Like I am on to something if I can do that.
Yeah. I mean,
Liz, any parting shots?
I mean, I agree with 1 and 2. I just don't think the category needs to be a piece of, I mean, I think you are a lucky company if you can go and create a category. You have enough open space in your market. You're not business intelligence where you have every single leader like Google as your competitor, right? I just think it's about getting close to your persona and really thoroughly developing your ICP, having ears to the ground, and making sure that both your product development and your story pivots with the market. And if you get lucky, you're right. Maybe you'll have a category creation, but I wouldn't hang your hat on it because I don't think it happens for many. It's like the 1%. If you get lucky and draw that category creation lottery card, congratulations, you've done fantastic. But if you haven't, at least you have a sustainable pathway to growth with your narrative.
Let me say one more thing. I think one of the reasons why it is both really hard, but also really important to pursue category design as a discipline inside your organization is that it forces a conversation about real strategic choices. It forces the conversation of where are we going to play and how are we going to win? And ultimately, if you don't get that shit right at some level, I don't care what you call it, if you don't have an answer to where exactly are we going to play and how exactly are we going to win, you're done.